Chiefs Kingdom, buckle up. There's a fresh ripple on the trade front, and it could turn this offense into a full-on track meet. Reports say an explosive running back with 4.39 speed has emerged as a trade candidate, and the fit in Kansas City feels almost too perfect. If the Chiefs want to push this track team identity to the limit, this might be the piece that makes defensive coordinators lose sleep. Imagine Mahomes with another true burner in the backfield, someone who can stress a defense horizontally and vertically on the same snap. We're talking jet action, orbit motion, angle routes, and will shots that punish man coverage and force zone teams to widen their drops. It's the kind of addition that doesn't just add yards, it changes geometry. Let's break down how this would work, what it means for the offense, and how it could shake the AFC playoff picture. The Chiefs have been edging toward a speed-everywhere philosophy for years. You saw it with the way they deploy motion, stack releases, and spacing concepts to create leverage even before the snap. Add one more home run threat who happens to align in the backfield, and suddenly every base call on defense becomes a guessing game. The stress compounds because the ball can leave Mahomes' hands in 2 seconds or less and still turn into a 40-yard play. Kansas City's run game has increasingly relied on misdirection, quick-hitting zone looks, and RPO tags that punish over-aggressive second-level defenders. A 4.39 back changes the calculus on the backside pursuit. Linebackers can't scrape quite as wide. Safeties can't sit on intermediate crossers. Corners have to respect that we'll up the boundary. And when defenses widen, the interior lightens, which feeds the Chiefs' tendency to hit cutback lanes and inside seams. In practical terms, the Chiefs would gain a pace setter. This isn't just about handoffs, it's about threat projection. If the defense believes the perimeter is hot, they have to allocate resources, and that opens space for Kelsey's option routes, for deep crossers, for the middle of the field where Mahomes is a surgeon. The track team label isn't just fun branding. It's a lever for dictating coverage shells and front structure. Let's start with personnel groupings. In 11 personnel, put a 4.39 RB next to Mahomes, with speed at Z and X, and Kelsey anchoring the middle. The defense has to choose between two bad options: stay light in nickel and risk getting gashed on split zone and duo, or bring a heavier box and leave themselves vulnerable to the RPO glance or a slot fade. If the back can run a legitimate 4.39, the horizontal stress on wide zone becomes a real problem for backside ends and overhang defenders. Pass game? The angle route becomes a cheat code. Kansas City already loves to influence linebackers with eye candy, jet motion, fake orbit, little taps of the foot to trigger shifts. Put this back on an angle out of empty and you force a linebacker to turn and run against elite burst. If defenses switch to a safety on the back, now you're forcing a rotation that opens shots to the boundary. It's the classic pick your poison. Screen game lifts as well. With true sprinter speed, the difference between a 7-yard screen and a 40-yard explosive is often just one block landed in space. The Chiefs coach screen timing as well as anyone in the league. A fast back attacks the alley before pursuit can converge, and when you stack that with downfield threats pulling cornerbacks out of run-fit responsibility, the creases appear. Backfield motion is where it gets spicy. Start the RB in pistol, short shift to the slot, and sprint him into orbit motion. If the defense bumps with him, you've forced communication pre-snap. If they pass it off, you're testing the rules. If they sit static, you're gaining leverage on the flat immediately. Kansas City feasts on these small advantages, and a legit 4.39 runner multiplies them. In 2-minute offense, this back becomes your turbo button. Draws, quick outs, sideline wheels, and flare screens keep the chains moving without burning clock. In red zone, the same burst compresses angles for defenders who are already squeezed by the boundary. Arrow routes and speed options force commitments, and any hesitation is 6. How would Andy Reid script the first 15 with this player? Think sequence, not just plays. Open with pin pull to threaten the perimeter. Come back with jet motion split zone to make the end wrong. Hit a quick RPO glance when the nickel cheats in. Then uncork a wheel-off play action to punish the safety who took 2 false steps downhill. It's not random, it's cumulative stress. Week to week, You'd expect the Chiefs to toggle between inside and outside zone based on opponent fronts. Against even fronts, use mid-zone to bait the 3-tech upfield, cutting behind the flow as linebackers widen to the jet action. Against odd fronts, press outside to force the OLB to declare, then slice inside the leverage. The back speed isn't just for the edge, it's for forcing pursuit angles to break down. Third down packages would feature empty looks with the RB in the slot, then motioning back into the backfield post-snap. That quick relocation creates hesitation in coverage IDs and gives Mahomes the tell he needs. Expect mesh variations with an RB wheel replacing the traditional sit route. If the defense passes it off, great, you've got a free runner against zone. If they man it, better, you've got a speed mismatch on a linebacker. One under-discussed benefit is the effect on Kelce. Defenses love to bracket him on third down. Insert a legitimate explosive back and the bracket becomes fragile. Rotate the safety to Kelce and you're single high with a running back who can outflank a linebacker in space. Keep too high and you're outnumbered in the run game with motion stress. The Chiefs don't need 20 touches from this back. They need 8 to 12 touches that change coverage structure. Ball security and pass protection always determine snap counts for new backs in Kansas City. Expect the staff to onboard with a defined package, screen series, outside zone, RPO tags, and a handful of pass pro looks where the back is a hot outlet, not a pure anchor. As trust grows, the menu expands. The talent is the ignition, but the trust is the transmission. Let's talk vibe. Chiefs Kingdom loves swagger, and nothing screams swagger like speed that you can feel through a screen. A move like this tells the locker room, the fan base, and the rest of the AFC that Kansas City isn't satisfied with good enough on offense. It's a culture move as much as a roster move. Media will default to comps. Is this the next era of the track team? But the more honest comparison is what the Niners do with horizontal stretch, or what Miami threatens with wide releases. The Chiefs already have the best improvisational quarterback on earth. Add another angle-breaking accelerator and the highlights get louder. Fans will see it immediately on the first orbit-to-wheel shot or the first screen that turns a crease into a runway. There will be the usual talk shows asking, do the Chiefs even need this? That misses the point. It's not about need, it's about leverage. In January, the difference between punting from your 42 and scoring from their 18 is one mismatch and one missed tackle. This kind of player gives you both. Zooming out, this kind of acquisition is about the AFC chessboard. Baltimore wants to muddy the middle with simulated pressures. Buffalo wants to tilt the field with bracketed coverage and force long drives. Cincinnati tries to sit on intermediate crossers and dare you underneath. A 4.39 back breaks all three strategies by punishing hesitation and widening the conflict point. Against elite pass rushes, speed to the flat is your quick answer key. Against too high shells, perimeter run and screen game force defenses to drop the second safety into the fit, opening shot lanes later. In rivalry games where every possession counts, that one explosive play flips the script. If the Chiefs lean into the track team identity right now, they're not just preparing for Week 8. They're setting booby traps for the divisional round. So where do we land? If the price is reasonable and the fit checks out in Pass Pro, this is exactly the kind of aggressive, forward-thinking move that keeps a dynasty humming. You're not buying touches, you're buying gravity. You're buying the right to dictate terms to a defense that wanted to dictate to you. With Mahomes at the controls, Kelce manipulating leverage, and speed stacked across the formation, this back becomes the spark plug. 8 touches can be enough if 2 of them are explosives and 3 of them force coverage changes. That's the hidden math of championship football. And if it all comes together, the track team nickname won't just be a headline. It'll be a scouting report headache for every coordinator on the Chiefs schedule. That's going to do it for today on Kansas City Chiefs Today. If this trade goes down, you'll feel it the second the ball is snapped. Not just in the box score, but in how defenses panic pre-snap. Drop your takes in the comments and join the road to 5,000 subs here on Kansas City Chiefs Today.